Hello everyone, it's your girl Mercy CHINWO Blessed. First I want to say thanks to every one of you for your immense love and support. I never believed the day would come where I would sit here to share my story. For the sake of the body of Christ, I thought to bring some clarity to a lot of misleading news out there online about the Mercy CHINWO brand. A man said I sued him, came online, made videos to tarnish my image. He looked at me and said, I made you who you are and I will destroy you. I became scared of my life. It got to a point where I had to move from Lagos to Port Harcourt because this man made the environment toxic for me. I've endured bully, I've endured threats. Whatever he's doing on social media now is nothing compared to what I went through. This is not to paint him bad. He took me to court, came online to tell the public that I took him to court. Here are the documents. You took myself and Minister Judike to court. And you're here playing the victim game. You bullied me, you threatened my life, you said you made me who I am and that you would destroy me. When you were the same person, how many lawyers have you changed now? Because you said you're going to deal with me, you have connections, you have money. What did I do? What have I done to you? I took you as a father. I was once your backup singer. I served you diligently. We signed a management contract in 2017. As we progressed, you tried to convince me to sign a 12-year contract, which I said no. Since then, you started acting funny, always toxic because I did not extend the contract. Immediately after my contract, I discovered you forged a new contract. Please tell the world what happened to the 2017 and the 2019 contract. You seized my royalties for 2 years. You're a bully. You're an oppressor. One of my major crimes was when I did a song with Pastor Nathaniel Bassi. Because this man hates Pastor Nathaniel Bassi, you went as far as sponsoring fake news about an innocent child, my son, and you said my son was not my son. And you paid bloggers because you hate Pastor Jerry eeZee. You won't want me to go for his events. The people you fight, I must fight them with you. And when I ask you questions, why don't you like them? You start harassing me. Because he had threatened me countlessly. You said you made me who I am and you have the power to destroy me. You are not God and you cannot destroy me. You have bloggers. I have God. The worst you can do is what you are doing. Like I said, what I went through working with you is nothing compared to what you are doing. You have bloggers. I have God. And I know that God will not let your plan come to pass. For his thoughts for me, they are of good and not of evil.
Breach on this contract where the said artist who is supposed to be a gospel artist, who is supposed to have integrity, who is supposed to sing Jesus and mean Jesus, who is supposed to keep to her words and terms of agreement, breached the contract, boycotted monies for events into her personal accounts, where was using the same contents that belongs to us, earns those monies personally without any form of remittance. We were remitting royalty until we sent a mail officially and said we would no longer send a mail to you any more royalties until there's a proper mutual financial reconciliation. We need to have a meeting, and this will be done on the premise of an unbiased audit without any form of religious influence of one of your fathers or your mothers who have your interest and want to twist us to do what is not wrong. It's about justice. No, when we say this is it about money? No, this is not just about money. This is about truth. This is about sincerity. This is about integrity. This is about saying yes and you keep to yes. This is a 50-50 transaction where we have not even recouped capital. By that, I mean we're sharing 50-50 on gross, not on net. And that's a fair contract, for goodness sake. But when I got to the EFCC, I was told not to write my truth. I was told there's nothing about contracts. All they just deal with is figures, and I should just write the monies that I'm owing. And I say we can't talk about monies without talking about what gave birth to money. The monies came as a result of the contract. This contract, monies was invested into the artist, and it generated this amount of money. And if there was money that was supposed to come to us and it wasn't coming, and we communicated, you cannot communicate and divert. You can't divert what you have communicated. And there's a mail to that effect. So how is this diversion? That's the question. The monies went into the right channels. By right channels, I mean the accounts that are known to the artist. There was no mail. regarding diversion of money. There was no resentment whatsoever with respect to how finances were going up until when this contract was breached. And we have every evidence to clear this. How then is this a criminal offense? This is a purported plan by a cartel of evil people who have the face and the mask of Christianity to destroy the system, to give an impression. I'm talking about someone who has earned over $1,500,000 from the same contract. How do you discredit what you have benefited from? The over $600,000 we're talking about is just for streams, not even for events. We have series of meetings where you went for, you didn't tell people you were going, you hid it because you didn't want us to know. That's not transparency, for goodness sake. There is no way on the surface of the earth that you hear a label taking 50 and giving the artist 50. And I mean, we paid rent for 5 years, you didn't pay a dime, you don't have a receipt. We gave you cars for all the period, we expended 100% expenditure on your career. This is unfair, this is not the right thing to do. We didn't go to court. We went to court because I wanted to ask that my fundamental right. And why? Because every time I made efforts to see how we can sit down to resolve, the clergies refused. They said my attempt to want to have a peaceful resolution meant weakness, and I would not be bold enough to, if I don't have anything else, I have my truth, I have my voice. We had also said the right thing to do is to go through an arbitration. When the audits collapsed because of the bias by the people who are supposed to handle it right, we now said, okay, let's explore what the contract provides, which is arbitration through the multi-door court, where this platform brings an independent auditor, either from ICANN, that is neutral and not affiliated to any of the parties, to look into the books. I will publish all our books to the world to see, and let her publish hers as well. Let there be transparency to the world, since we cannot settle it privately. What I will not take is to be arm twist. I will not be bullied. I will not be intimidated. No, I will not. It won't happen. Nobody has exclusivity or monopoly of madness. The law is the law, and it's clear. Regarding catalog, I've been threatened that they will put charges on me. They will put charges on me using the clicks and the connections that they have, and I won't have an option, and I won't have an option but to relinquish the catalog. I must go to jail, but all sorts of all manner of threats, and this is coming from Christians, people who call the name of the Lord. We are here at the court, and we have filed for a motion for the warrant of arrest to be set aside until it is clearly established if this is a civil transaction or not. And as God will have it, the judge and the court has granted that motion be set aside. I want to thank you for following this. Please pay attention to the truth. Don't be a fanatic. Don't say, oh, I love this person, I hate. No, pay attention closely to the sequence of what this has happened. There are picture evidences, there are video evidences, there are contractual witnesses to this, and these people are alive. Let questions be asked. Don't be swayed by your love and emotions, the emotional connection you have to the people who sing. Don't be deceived by religiosity. No, a lot of times appearance is not reality. Pay attention to the nitty-gritty of this. This event is going to unveil and unravel a lot of evil that goes on within the gospel ecosystem. We're supposed to provide all costs. It's a 360 deal, which means a recording and management contract. So we provided all costs: production costs, housing costs, video costs, mobility costs, and we have the receipts and evidence for all of this. Yes. So yeah, the reason I stayed 9 days in EFCC is because they said to me that if I do not write what I am told to write, I would remain in detention. So because I needed to be free, it's my very first time being in the police station. I want to challenge the public that you will not find my name traced to any law enforcement agent anywhere in the world. I've never visited the police station before. I am a credible Nigerian. I do business and straight. But then I was told that if I do not write, compelling me to write in the manner I was being told to write, that I was going to remain in their custody. And what do you do? And they transfer money from your account. What do? You have to follow somehow. So under duress, I did the things that I did, and then I agreed to transfer a certain amount of money, of course, because the account was blocked. I didn't get a court order. Okay, $274,000 was made to be transferred to her, and then I said to them, "Why are you making me to transfer money to her when she is not remitting or giving back what she owes? She owes the company a third album and a couple of singles. She has money she's boycotted into her personal accounts that we're not aware of. She didn't give account of. She has events she had attended. We need this transparency has to be both ways. So it's already one-sided. You're right, ensuring that it just comes from we too, but because we're under a lot of pressure and we needed to be free, I had to concede to that, and that's what we went to challenge.
Welcome back. The case between record label boss, eeZee Concept, and gospel singer. It is something that a lot of us are worried about. Why? Because both of them are important, the producer and the singer. Both of them are both important. But there are certain things that needs to be done correctly. There are things that needs to be done right. Very important. Very important. Mercy Chinwo used to be a backup singer, like she said. And you know how it works. Your boss and you behind you are backing him up, and a lot of people do not see the work of backup singers. They only see the lead. They only see the person at the front. Backup singers are very important. It's like saying you can move around without your legs, without your arms. They are very important. Now, let us even put that aside. Let us look at the legality of it, and then we'll look at the moral aspect of it. The legality part of it is so troubling. Prior to this, a lot of us had pointed fingers at Mercy Chinwo. We said, you are irresponsible, you are a greedy person, you are not a nice person. Yeah, we pointed fingers at her. But don't think that all the fingers that were pointed at her, all of it should be cut off and we are 100% wrong. No, don't forget, it's a fellowship, it's a friendship, and it is business. Mercy Chinwo is not 100% right and cannot be 100% right. But we have to put this on a scale and balance it and, put in a little bit of technicality. Talking about the legality of it. So there is this contract. A contract. You heard what she said. They had this initial contract. And this contract had terms and conditions that I believe she accepted, which is the 50-50, half and half. Now, the question that begs for an answer that we want to ask, although somehow it has been addressed in the in our lawyer's response, rebuttal, it has been addressed, and we just need to see bullet points. We want to know what and what, or they are keeping that for the court. If that's what it is, it's okay. The initial contract, from what I could deduct, the initial contract was okay for Mercy Chinwo. It was okay for her. The terms and conditions, okay. Now, did she have a copy? That's the question that begs for an answer. How can you sign a contract? How can she be that ignorant? Or was she so comfortable? Was she feeling like I am still not there yet? Is that the reason why? Or is it humility or foolishness or stupidity that you put pen to paper and you don't have a copy of what you put pen to paper? Because if she had a copy of that contract, it would be difficult, very difficult for Mr. eeZee Concept to do any form of wuru-wuru, to do a kind of adulteration or forgery or whatever on the so-called new contract. They said he had a contract 2017, right? And Mr. Concept got another lawyer to help him formulate a contract that he included stringent terms and conditions. Conditions that that will make you remain in servitude. So she said, according to the first contract, everything was fine. Not until Mr. included terms such as I and my recording company will own your master. We will own your master unless there is a discussion between us, and then we will evaluate and then determine what and what will go to you based on your master. If you want it, it's okay. We'll give it to you. But we have to discuss. We have to evaluate it. We have to check. Included. Now, it is a common practice among the record label producers to hone your master for a duration of time or in perpetuity, forever, depending on what the contract states. Now, I know a lot of money are often invested in artists. Talk about video shoot, talk about the production, the music and rehearsals and the glamour, your cars, the house you live, which this record label said we provided it. House, accommodation. First, she was living with record label boss. So when she started making money, record label got her a place to stay and something to cruise around. And she started earning from the music, performances in churches, private events, and on different streaming platforms. Revenue was coming in. 50-50 was fine. They were both cashing in, cashing out, and things, everything looked fine. Not until the duration of the first contract was about to come to an end, Mr. came forward, Mr. eeZee Concept. And you know what? Let us sign a 12-year contract. That one is slavery. He said, no, I have other plans. Now, Mr. is angry. Now that you have gotten luminosity, now that you have gotten expression, now that people know you, you want to now go. You are not going anywhere. I need to reap. I need to grab more. Greed came into him. Now, he was hoping, thinking, expecting Mercy CHINWO to be humble, Mercy CHINWO to look back and see how he had helped her. Like a lot of people begged me to put you where you got to. You used to be my backup singer. Who would have known you? Do you know how many people out there are singing and no one knows them? You think you have the voice? No, I made you. We made you. Yes, Mercy said, God made me. Yes, God will use people like eeZee Concept to take you to the next level. That's normal. Yes, and at times, God can choose not to use anybody directly. Yeah, but someone must still see you and then talk about you and promote you. Still, somehow, directly or indirectly, human beings have to be involved, right? So, he got angry. He was hoping, expecting Mercy CHINWO to remain that small, young lady of those days and remain like, you know how I put everything into you. Now, Mercy CHINWO felt, Oga, what is this rubbish that you're talking about? You have made money. I have also made. What are you talking about? I'm not signing nothing. Then problems started. Threat. Canceling of shows that she's supposed to go perform. What was Mr. Concept trying to do? Mr. Concept was trying to reduce the reach. Cover the luminosity. Crush our expression. That is what he was trying to do. Simply put, I made you. I will stop you. Now, the reason why this appeared to him as possible is because Mercy CHINWO at that time was still keeping to certain parts of the terms and conditions. That's why I say talk about legality. Mercy CHINWO cannot be 100% correct. So, in between these, we were having issues. She said certain royalties were not being remitted to me. So Mr. eeZee Concept also said, you know what? There are certain shows you go to and you don't remit. You don't bring back money too. So they started having this issue, which is common amongst artists and their record label in certain parts of the world. I'm not saying everywhere. Because in other parts of the world, there are people who have fallen prey and they've educated others. So when contracts are being signed, they take their lawyer down there. Mercy CHINWO, who was your lawyer? Who was your lawyer? If you had a lawyer, I am sure that that lawyer should have a copy of the contract. Is that not how it's supposed to be? So Mercy Chinwo said in a video back then that as a creative person, ask questions. So it means, is it that she was too hungry, or Mr. made it weaponize that need for her to shine? I mean, that hunger created that kind of situation where, which is not easy concept fault anyway. She's the one that wants to shine. So she did everything. She was ready to go all the way. She signed. All she wants to do is, I need to have my thing out there. She signed without having a copy. Because if you have a copy, how can record label now bring another contract? Does it make sense? Anyway, so they try to kind of include into the former contract some other terms and conditions, like I said. And she got to find out about it, and the problem, the EFCC thing, trouble here and there. I'm taking you to prison. You are not taking me to prison. We are going to court. EFCC held Mr. eeZee Concept. eeZee Concept had to push out $200 and something thousand again. We are not talking of small money here. That's a lot of money. So that also dropped into the pocket of Mercy Chinwo. According to eeZee Concept, Mercy, you've made close to $1 million all through this period. Mercy say, no, it's not true. I've only made, is it half of it or thereabout? Is it half or $600,000? You know, okay, no problem. We are going to court. Now, he is saying, Mercy dragged me, but Mercy is saying he's the one. From what I could pick from what the lawyer of Mercy Chinwo wrote, Mercy Chinwo's lawyer said, after we had our gentleman and ladies discussion, closed door, like, okay, let's find a way after the EFCC thing. Let's find a way to resolve this matter and then come with a better understanding and agreement. Mr. cried, they both wept and remembered the past. They remembered those days when they were not as shiny as this. Okay, question is this: was Mr. the singer and backup singer, were they rich then? They were not. So the blessings of Mercy Chinwo and other people that came into the record label brought much and more money, right? So they said Mr. went back, sat down with certain people, and they told him, don't worry. Or greed took over him, and he said, you know what? What we are going to do is simple. Let's take this case to the court. So he changed lawyer, got another lawyer, so that he can sell the lawyer the story that he wants. And the lawyer said, no problem, let's go on it. Let's fight it and see what we will do. Let's see if we can get something for ourselves. And here we are, court. I don't care about the tears of Mercy Chinwo. Oh, he threatened me. I was afraid for my life. No, none of those things. Maybe that's why Mercy Chinwo married the pastor that she got married to, that they said is also a cultist. I'm not lying. Although they are doing their thing. They say he's a cultist. And if you say he's a repentant cultist, that's your business. But we saw them, like, on his wedding day, all of his fraternity guys came and they were all exchanging the exchange, you know, like that. It's okay. Maybe they are cultists in Christ. She also has gotten a backbone. That's the point. Apart from spiritual fathers that she has, which eeZee Concept kept talking about. They are trying to bully me. They are trying to use spiritual fathers' influence on me. I would not agree. It means that this guy, his mind is set, hardened up. Money, love of it, they say, is the root of all evil. It can lead you like how a fly stupidly goes into the grave. I don't know if this guy did not sit back and peruse over it all and say, okay, you know what? For the sake of the pain that I suffered right there for 9 days at the EFCC, and for the sake of the money, plus or minus, that I've invested in you too, here and there, you know what? This is the book. I owe you X and Y amount of money, but I am giving you this percentage. The rest is for me, for the stress that I went through. That's it. Simple as ABC. That would have solved all this noise and drama. But since he said he wants to take it to the court, the audit that we saw of Judy K, another singer, that audit that I saw, I think Mr. eeZee Concept is going to be a long thing. Not to talk of the one that maybe Mercy will bring out. I don't know. It's going to be a long thing. The truth of the matter is this: both of them have money. And one thing that eeZee Concept that I thought about, one thing that eeZee Concept is not thinking. One thing that eeZee Concept is not thinking. Let's say the EFCC thing happened. Don't forget that you need people to trust in you to come do recording and believe in. If they won't want to come around you with this kind of thing, they'll be like, no, we're not coming around this guy. Who knows what he will do? Forge. People will not be that free around you. So you'd have thought about this publicity. Is it a good one or a bad one? You have sold us the story of it's a contract. Yes, everyone agreed there is a contract, but does that contract have integrity stamped on it, or there is forgery on it? It's a big question. So who is going to trust you? That's the thing. Who is going to trust you? Who is going to trust you to do business with you? That's what you have not thought about. eeZee Concept, if you're listening, you have made a mistake. I know you can withdraw. But for the sake of your cheap, well, let us leave it for the court. Let us now draw conclusion. For me, what you should have done, if you knew that, of course, you know that there is a kind of a forgery done. Don't forget that small girl of that day has become a grown woman. If you thought I'm a smart person, there are other people that are smarter. It has happened. Some people are saying Mercy should forget about it. No, it doesn't work that way. We have to hammer truth the way truth needs to be hammered. There are certain times you give waivers, but as it is right now, I don't think there's any turning back. They have both screamed and shouted, and the court will have to do the needful. There, we'll find out the part that Mercy CHINWO also duped the company, or took certain funds that the company is supposed to, and the record label is supposed to also have. We'll get to see the bigger picture of it. Now we are getting like a balance. That's why we all now can say, okay, I think record label, you are a greedy label. Oh, Mercy, are you also merciless, or you're stupid? Because signing a contract without having a copy, I don't understand what that means.